Hello everyone, welcome to the Biberian channel. Today, I'll be presenting Indian mythology as if it were in the game age of mythology. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're ready, let's get right into it. Mandir generates favor and provides players with alternating elemental buffs based on the world's elemental system tied to map directions. It must also be upgraded through advancing ages using resources and reconstructed to become even more powerful. Yakshas are among the most powerful and formidable civilian units, as they can function as both workers or highly effective soldiers on the battlefield in every role they undertake. However, this versatility comes at the cost of being quite expensive to train and to permanently convert into a military unit. Indians does not have a unit dedicated solely to scouting. They only have the Shravamsha Rider, a cavalry scout that excels in both agility and evading ranged attacks. Indians have unique elephant units with clear, defined roles. They are powerful and high hit points, but slow and expensive. Overview. Worker unit, Sudra and Yaksha. Sudras are 25% cheaper than Greek villagers and half population space, but 10% and 15% less efficient at building and gathering resources respectively. Train limit max to 125. Yakshas can be converted roles from worker into warrior for a cost more expensive and contribute to the worker and population limit for worker roles is 3 times the ratio. Worker roles, very efficient, especially when building, repairing, and gathering resources. Can trained at town center only. Warrior roles, powerful in melee combat, more hit points, and trained at temple only. Drop sites, mill, food, lumber camp, wood, mining camp, gold. Mill can garrison herdable animals to produce food. Starts with 3 Sudras, 1 Yaksha, 1 Brahman, and 1 Shravamsha Rider. Starting resources, 270 food, 275 wood, 75 gold, and 5 favor. Elephant units have to be upgraded separately. Warships have minus 30% training time. Mandir is a favor-generating building that must be built within the vicinity of a town center. Its 4 sides, square layout, must be aligned with specific elements to accelerate favor production and receive rotating elemental bonuses that cycle every 15 minutes. Upon advancing to the next age, Mandir must be restored to further enhance its production capabilities. Mandir must be aligned according to the primary elements: east, earth; west, water; north, air; and south, fire. Construction is restricted to a limit of 1 Mandir per element. The rotating elemental bonuses provide a continuous and uncapped increase of at least 5% power to the economy, military units, and god powers. If a Mandir is constructed in an area that does not align with its designated elemental direction, favor production efficiency will be significantly reduced, and the rotating elemental bonuses will fail to activate. Restoration requires a resource cost to rebuild the building. Once rebuilt, the restoration is considered complete. Even if the building is later destroyed, it can be reconstructed at its latest restoration level. Each minor god provides additional elemental power bonuses. At least 1 unique mythical hero with powerful abilities. Pancha Bhuta is an elemental power that augments the economy, military, and god powers, granting players immense strength for a limited duration. Energy points are accumulated by having various unit types complete randomized quests, with each unit type's tasks aligned exclusively with a single element. Furthermore, each chosen major and minor god provides a unique and distinct elemental bonus. Additionally, constructing a Mandir to receive rotating bonuses further empowers the effects of Pancha Bhuta. Agni, fire increasing attack range, and re-invoke a god power faster / destructive god power more efficiency / unit categories, myth units. Vayu, air increasing speed, reduce training time, and reduce god power cost / turbulent god power more efficiency / unit categories, soldiers. Prithvi, earth. Increasing defense, resource gathering rate, and reduce unit cost / summon god power more efficiency / unit categories, workers. Apis, water increasing hit points, heal rate, and generate favor faster / blessing god power more efficiency, unit categories, heroes. Pancha Bhuta activations are limited to one element at a time for a standard duration of 10 minutes. Initial energy values are determined by your chosen major and minor gods. The active element can be identified by the Mandir, which will ignite its ritual pyres in the corresponding elemental color. Shiva, God of Destruction. Focus, Elephants and God Powers. Type of Bhuta, Agni, Fire, plus 10% efficiency. God Blessing. White Elephant, Shiva bestows upon all elephant units a white complexion, enhances their combat capabilities, and grants them immunity to special attacks from myth units. On Pancha Bhuta, all destructive god powers gain plus 10% damage per use, which scales incrementally each time Pancha Bhuta, Fire, is activated. This bonus is capped at a maximum of 100%. This maximum bonus is permanent, does not reset, and is not limited exclusively to the fire element. Gajashaala available in Classical Age, elephant units upgrade available one age earlier and can research additional heavily upgrades. Elephant units are 45% cheaper, receive 25% less bonus damage. Vishnu, God of Preservation. Focus, Pancha Bhuta. Type of Bhuta, Opus, Water, plus 10% efficiency. God Blessing. Chakra, Vishnu introduced the Chakra system for unlocking the maximum potential of the Pancha Bhuta. Players must repeatedly use elemental abilities of any type to accumulate chakra points. Progression involves 7 distinct tiers, where higher tiers grant the ability to utilize more than one elemental power simultaneously, as well as significantly increasing the duration of their effects. Muladhara, Earth/Air power plus 10% in duration plus 5% longer. Svadhisthana, Water/Fire power plus 10% in duration plus 5% longer. Manipura, Earth/Air power plus 20% in duration plus 15% longer. Anahata, Water/Fire power plus 20% in duration plus 15% longer. Vishuddha, all element power plus 30% in duration plus 25% longer, can use double elemental power at the same times. Ajna, all element power plus 40% in duration plus 25% longer, can use triple elemental power at the same times. Sahasrara, all element power plus 60% in duration plus 30% longer, use all elemental power at the same times. On Pancha Bhuta, upon activating any Pancha Bhuta element, favor cost for units, technologies, and god powers is reduced. This bonus accumulates at 25% per activation and resets once it reaches the maximum cap of 75% per 200%. Bonus resets at 75% for units and technologies that cost favor, while god powers only reset once they reach the 200% cap. Upon resetting, all god powers become immediately available for an additional use at no cost, before the accumulation starts again from 25%. Brahman have plus 25% attack damage and can hit 3 targets per attack. Brahma, God of Creation. Focus, Sudras and Yakshas. Type of Bhuta, Prithvi, Earth, plus 10% efficiency. God Blessing. Varapala, Brahma changes the strategies by having Yakshas forged from statues. A unique building that Sudras can construct, which means Yakshas can no longer be trained from the town center and temple. These Yakshas have 50% better hit points, attack, armor, and resource gathering compared to regular Yakshas. On Pancha Bhuta, favor generation at the Mandir is increased by 2x for every restoration tier. Yaksha statues in warrior roles can freely switch between wielding swords for melee attacks and bows for ranged attacks. They can transform into heroes to combat against myth units for a high favor price, do not consume players' population. Sudras construct buildings 45% faster and 70% efficiency built statues. Pujari can be trained at the temple, which replaces Yakshas. The Classical Age minor gods are as follows. Parvati, Goddess of Power and Motherhood. Focus, Sudras and Favor Generation. Type of Bhuta, Prithvi, Earth, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Shiva and Brahma. Lakshmi, Goddess of Wealth and Fertility. Focus, Cavalry and Economy. Type of Bhuta, Vayu, air, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Shiva and Vishnu. Sarasvati, goddess of knowledge and poetry. Focus, Brahman and infantry. Type of Bhuta, Opus, water, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Vishnu and Brahma. The Heroic Age minor gods are as follows. Archaic Age, god of victory and war. Focus, military and siege elephant. Type of Bhuta, Vayu, air, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Shiva and Brahma. Ganesha, god of wisdom. Focus, elephants and Durg units. Type of Bhuta, Prithvi, earth, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Shiva and Vishnu. Hanuman, god of strength and courage. Focus, heroes and army production. Type of Bhuta, Opus, water, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Vishnu and Brahma. The Mythic Age minor gods are as follows. Indra, god of weather and storms. Focus, Yakshas and Yarumi swordsmen. Type of Bhuta, Vayu, air, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Vishnu and Brahma. Surya, god of the sun. Focus, cavalry and archers. Type of Bhuta, Agni, fire, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, all Indian major god. Kali, goddess of time and death. Focus, myth units and god powers. Type of Bhuta, Agni, fire, plus 10% efficiency. Related major gods, Shiva. Next, let's look at the Indian god powers. In the Archaic Age, you'll have access to the following god powers. Trishul. Target a location for Shiva to cast down his Trishul. It deals 7,500 divine damage to nearby enemies. Sacred Mandir. Target a Mandir to transform it into a sacred Mandir, which generates increased favor and heals all nearby allied units. Rajput. Transforms a Yaksha unit into a hero, changing its class to warrior and fully restoring its health. In the Classical Age, you'll have access to the following god powers. Vulnerability. Creates a desolated aura in the area, significantly weakening enemy armor while preventing all armor gain and healing for opponents. Blessing Tribute. Target your own or an ally's town center to receive or tribute 500 food, 500 wood, and 500 gold. Deva's Fountain. Summons a Deva's Fountain, which spawns 4 Apsaras immediately upon appearing. It can train up to 8 total Apsaras and heals all nearby allied units. This fountain can be captured by other players. In the Heroic Age, you'll have access to the following god powers. Wall of Flames. Conjures a wall of flame at the target location, searing all units and buildings within its reach for a duration. Spike Ground. Conjures a field of sharp spikes that stabs enemy units and buildings over a large area, dealing damage and slowing their movement. Yentra. Creates a ring of talismans that strictly prohibits the use of enemy god powers within the target area. Furthermore, summoned and standard enemy myth units entering this sanctified zone become severely weakened and easily dispatched. In the Mythic Age, you'll have access to the following god powers. Shashnag. Summons a 5-headed serpent that toggles between mobile and meditative states. While mobile, it breathes fire and calls down lightning to strike enemies. In meditative state, it remains stationary but unleashes more frequent and devastating lightning strikes. Fire Chakram. Invokes a colossal flaming chakram that sweeps through enemy units and buildings in a straight line. Armageddon. Summons a cataclysmic asteroid to strike a wide target area, dealing massive damage to everything in its path and leaving behind hellfire embers that inflict continuous damage for a short duration. For the Classical Age, the Indian myth units are as follows. Yali. A leonine creature with an elephant's trunk that slams the ground to stun nearby enemies. Kamadhenu. A winged, female-headed bull that exhales arcane magic to demolish both units and buildings. Garuda. An avian archer capable of traversing both vast oceans and solid ground with equal ease. For the heroic age, the Indian myth units are as follows. Nava Gunjara. A mythical chimera composed of 9 creatures that uses a lotus to cast spells, putting human units to sleep or converting enemy ground myth units to your side. Gajashaala. Golden Himmapan hybrid of lion and elephant that generates a protective shield for itself while engaged in combat. Gandabaranda. 2-headed avian that suppresses the use of enemy god powers. As a flying unit, it can only be targeted by ranged attacks. Van Era. Powerful and agile ape-man capable of letting out a mighty roar that bolsters the attack power of allies when gathered in large numbers. Makara. A marine elephant that uses its colossal trunk to crush and pulverize enemy ships. For the Mythic Age, the Indian myth units are as follows. Airavata. Colossal 3-headed elephant of immense power, specializing in obliterating everything in its path. Rakshasa. Multi-headed giant wielding a massive club that hurls enemies aside. This unit excels at demolishing enemy fortifications. Vat'ala. A towering gangly wraith capable of binding up to 3 nearby enemies in place before manifesting shadow clones to slash them with venomous claws. Naga. Serpentine hybrid capable of gliding across both land and sea, wielding 6 arms to strike down multiple enemies in its path. For the classical age, the Indian heroes are as follows. Sheikh Handi. Fast attacking hero that good against myth units. Switches to a ranged attack to fight flying units. Collects relics. Satyabhama. Flying hero capable of switching to flight mode for aerial movement, landing only to regenerate hit points. Has a ranged attack that is good against myth units. Collects relics. Chitrangada. Ranged hero capable of striking up to 5 targets simultaneously with each shot. Good against myth units and collects relics. For the heroic age, the Indian heroes are as follows. Abhimanyu. Ranged hero who hurls a bladed wheel that returns to its wielder, dealing damage to enemies both on its way out and on its way back. Good against myth units and collects relics. Duryodhana. Hero who spins a massive gada to deal area damage to all surrounding enemies. Good against myth units and switches to a ranged attack to fight flying units. Collects relics. Bhima. Hero who slams their massive gada into the ground to send nearby enemies flying back. Good against myth units and switches to a ranged attack to fight flying units. Collects relics. For the Mythic Age, the Indian heroes are as follows. Arjuna. Mounted ranged hero on a war elephant, granting high hit points, and capable of firing arrows at up to 3 targets simultaneously. Good against myth units and collects relics. Karna. Ranged chariot hero capable of charging up a powerful shot that pierces through all enemies in a straight line. Good against myth units and collects relics. Gatat Kacha. Rakshasa hero ready to smash groups of enemies apart. Can also unleash lightning bolts to strike down flying units. Good against myth units and collects relics. The Indian Town Center allows you to train the following units. Sudra. Less efficient than other workers and half population space. Shrivamsha Rider. Fast scout cavalry, good against archers and siege weapons. Which can dodge projectile attacks. Can be trained from the town center. Can also be trained at the War Pavilion, Classical Age onwards. Yaksha, Worker. Powerful giant that excels at gathering wood and gold, and constructing buildings, can be transformed into fighting unit with resources cost. Yaksha, Warrior. Powerful giant that enters a full-strength warrior mode, either by transformed from Yaksha workers or by being trained at the temple. It excels at against human soldiers and buildings. Brahman. Ranged hero that can be trained at the town center and monastery from the Classical Age. It can heal friendly units and excels at ranged combat against myth units. While initially unable to collect relics, it can use a mystical staff to repair friendly buildings from a distance. The War Pavilion is the primary building for training basic Indian human soldiers. The units available are as follows. Kantika. Classical Age Infantry, good against cavalry. Shrivamsha Rider. Fast Scout Cavalry, good against archers and siege weapons, which can dodge projectile attacks. Can be trained from the town center. Can also be trained at the War Pavilion, Classical Age onwards. Chakram Thrower. Classical Age Infantry with a ranged melee attack and pass-through damage. Urumi Swordsman. Heroic Age Infantry that can charge its attack to inflict additional damage with area of effect, good against infantry and cavalry. The Gajashaala is the primary building for training Indian elephant units. Here are the units available. War Elephant. Heroic Age Cavalry, strong but slow and expensive unit, good against buildings and anything that gets in its way. Elephant Archer. Heroic Age Mounted Archer with a high amount of hit points, good against infantry and other archers. Siege Elephant. Heroic Age Siege Cavalry, good against buildings and siege weapons. The Durg is the primary structure for recruiting Indian secondary cavalry units. The units available are as follows. Ratha. Heroic Age Mounted Archer that can switch between melee and ranged attacks, good against infantry and other archers. Camel Lancer. Heroic Age Cavalry, fast but expensive unit that is good against archers and cavalry. The Monastery is the secondary structure for recruiting Indian heroes. The units available are as follows. Brahman. Ranged hero that can be trained at the town center and monastery from the Classical Age. It can heal friendly units and excels at ranged combat against myth units. While initially unable to collect relics, it can use a mystical staff to repair friendly buildings from a distance. Pujari. Powerful ranged sorcerer hero capable of dealing area of effect, AoE, damage. Can heal allied units and good against myth units and buildings, including the heroes for each age from minor gods that were previously explained. At the Indian temple, the units you can recruit are the Yakshas available starting from the Archaic Age. But Brahma worshipper is replaced by Pujari. Yaksha, warrior. Powerful giant that enters a full-strength warrior mode, either by transformed from Yaksha workers or by being trained at the temple. It excels at against human soldiers and buildings. Pujari can be trained at the temple, which replaces Yakshas, including the myth units for each age that were previously explained. At the Indian dock, you can recruit the following warships. Agramandura. Arrow Ship. Kalandia. Close Combat Ship. Therisadai. Siege Ship. Also, here are the naval myth units available for each age. Titans. The Indian Titan is Gajasura, a powerful elephant demon, son of Mahishasura, who performs severe penance to gain power and seek revenge for his father's death, ultimately becoming a menace to the three worlds until slain by Lord Shiva in his Gajasurasamura form. The Indian unique technologies focus on both favor generation and boosting units' capabilities. These upgrades can be researched at both the monastery and the Mandir. Moksha. Generates at least 1.5 favor per minute based on the number of units killed by the enemy. Additionally, technology costs are reduced by 15% while in Pancha Bhuta mode. Ayurveda. Heroes heal 35% faster. Units take 75% less damage from enemy passives, and divine damage from enemies is reduced by 50%. Puja. Mandir generates increased favor based on its level, and the cost to restore it to the next tier is reduced by 25%. Additionally, its line of sight is increased by +3. The Mandir Favor Generation System. The Indians generate favor through the Mandir. The production of favor depends on the 4 elemental coordinates aligned with the cardinal directions within a square perimeter surrounding each town center. If any part of the Mandir is built in a direction that does not match its assigned element, favor production efficiency is significantly reduced, and the cycling bonuses will fail to activate. Players are permitted to build only one Mandir per element/direction around any town center, though this applies to all town centers across the map. Additionally, Mandirs feature a restoration system, allowing them to be rebuilt for a resource cost. This process is initiated via the Restoration Upgrade button on the MKB HUD, which becomes available only after advancing to the next age. Once restored, the Mandir undergoes a visual transformation into a more majestic form, and its favor production rate increases. The restoration system features 3 unlockable tiers, progressing from the Classical Age through to the Mythic Age. Prithvi Earth Mandir Restoration Levels. Level 1. Level 2. Level 3. Level 4. Opus Water Mandir Restoration Levels. Level 1. Level 2. Level 3. Level 4. Vayu Wind Mandir Restoration Levels. Level 1. Level 2. Level 3. Level 4. Agni Fire Mandir Restoration Levels. Level 1. Level 2. Level 3. Level 4. Pancha Bhuta Innate Mechanic of Indian Pantheon. Pancha Bhuta is an innate mechanic for the Indian Pantheon. It is an elemental system that supports the economy, base stats, combat, and god powers. The mechanic is operated via elemental logo buttons located on the left side of the god power panel on the HUD. There are 4 individual buttons, one for each element. Upon activation, an elemental aura will appear around the borders of the battlefield screen. Alternatively, players can check the status via the Sacred Pyre. The smoke color will change to correspond with the active element at its respective Mandir. This visual cue is also visible to the enemy. Each Pancha Bhuta element lasts for 10 minutes per use. While active, various stats and attributes are buffed depending on the specific focus of the chosen element. Once a Pancha Bhuta effect concludes, energy must be recharged before it can be activated again. This is achieved by having element-specific units complete designated divine requests. The specific types of requests and unit classifications will be detailed on the following page. In addition to unlocking the ability, players can accumulate bonus stacks. Increasing these numerical values will significantly amplify the potency of the element, making each activation feel considerably more powerful. Divine requests have different unlock costs depending on the age. If you advance to the next age, the unlock requirements will immediately scale to that current age, provided the Pancha Bhuta has not been activated yet. Furthermore, if the assigned request is inconvenient, you can reset it for a new random one. However, this triggers a cooldown of approximately 2 minutes. There are 5 fixed divine requests per element that will continually loop. Elemental Focus and Unit Types. Prithvi Earth. Armor Resource Gathering Rate. Reduce Unit Cost. Summon God Power More Efficiency. Quest Unit is Worker. Opus Water. Hit Points Heal Rate. Generate Favor Faster. Blessing God Power More Efficiency. Quest Unit is Heroes. Vayu Wind. Speed Reduce Training Time. Reduce God Power Cost. Turbulent God Power More Efficiency. Quest Unit is Human Soldier. Agni Fire. Melee Attack Pierce Attack. Re-invoke a God Power Faster. Destructive God Power More Efficiency. Quest Unit is Myth Unit. Earth Element Quest Sources. Society. Simply having a Sudras on the battlefield will automatically produce 10 Prithvi points per unit. Unlock Progression. 5,000 points in Classical Age. 10,000 points in Heroic Age. 50,000 points in Mythic Age. Harvest. Gain Prithvi points equal to the amount of resources, excluding favor, delivered to a drop site by individual workers. Unlock Progression. 25,000 points in Classical Age. 50,000 points in Heroic Age. 100,000 points in Mythic Age. Supremacy. Simply having a town center on the battlefield will automatically produce 100 Prithvi points per building. Unlock progression. 50,000 points in Classical Age. 75,000 points in Heroic Age. 125,000 points in Mythic Age. Property. The production of Prithvi points is based on the cumulative hit points of all buildings completed by your workers. Unlock progression. 5,000 points in Classical Age. 7,500 points in Heroic Age. 30,000 points in Mythic Age. Monarchy. Simply having a Yakshas worker role on the battlefield will automatically produce 20 Prithvi points per unit. Unlock progression. 7,500 points in Classical Age. 12,500 points in Heroic Age. 25,000 points in Mythic Age. Wind Element Quest Sources. Military. Simply having a combined total of at least 20 infantry and ranged soldier units on the battlefield will automatically generate 10 Vayu points per group. Unlock progression. 25,000 points in Classical Age. 75,000 points in Heroic Age. 150,000 points in Mythic Age. Warfare. Any military units attacking an enemy anywhere will automatically generate 5 Vayu points per attack. Unlock progression. 5,000 points in Classical Age. 10,000 points in Heroic Age. 50,000 points in Mythic Age. Mobility. Simply having at least 10 cavalry units of any type on the battlefield will automatically generate 10 Vayu points per group. Unlock progression. 50,000 points in Classical Age. 100,000 points in Heroic Age. 250,000 points in Mythic Age. Fanaticism. Using elephant units to destroy enemy structures will generate approximately 50 Vayu points per destruction. Unlock progression. 5,000 points in Heroic Age. 7,500 points in Mythic Age. Archery. Any ranged soldier units attacking an enemy will automatically generate 5 Vayu points per shot. Unlock progression. 2,500 points in Classical Age. 5,000 points in Heroic Age. 10,000 points in Mythic Age. Water Element Quest Sources. Theocracy. Simply having at least 5 Brahman on the battlefield will automatically generate 10 Opus points per group. Unlock progression. 5,000 points in Classical Age. 10,000 points in Heroic Age. 50,000 points in Mythic Age. Renovation. Brahman will generate Opus points based on the amount of HP they restore to friendly or allied structures. Unlock progression. 500 points in Classical Age. 1,000 points in Heroic Age. 2,500 points in Mythic Age. Zealotry. Brahman or Minor Age heroes dealing damage to enemy mythical units will generate 5 Opus points based on the maximum damage per unit. Unlock progression. 500 points in Classical Age. 750 points in Heroic Age. 1,000 points in Mythic Age. Therapy. Brahman will generate Opus points based on the amount of HP they restore to friendly or allied units. Unlock progression. 750 points in Classical Age. 1,000 points in Heroic Age. 2,500 points in Mythic Age. Asceticism. Each monastery existing on the battlefield will generate approximately 50 Opus points. Unlock progression. 7,500 points in Classical Age. 12,500 points in Heroic Age. 75,000 points in Mythic Age. Fire Element Quest Sources. Defilements. Training or researching related to mythical units will generate approximately 25 Agni points based on the amount of resources spent on them, excluding favor. Unlock progression. 5,000 points in Classical Age. 10,000 points in Heroic Age. 50,000 points in Mythic Age. Samsara. Approximately 30 Agni points will be generated each time a mythical unit is created on the battlefield. Unlock progression. 25,000 points in Classical Age. 50,000 points in Heroic Age. 100,000 points in Mythic Age. Violent. Using mythical units to eliminate enemy human units will generate approximately 2 Agni points per kill. Unlock progression. 300 points in Classical Age. 600 points in Heroic Age. 1,000 points in Mythic Age. Misery. Friendly mythical units taking damage from enemies will generate 10 Agni points based on the amount of HP lost, excluding Titans. Unlock progression. 1,000 points in Classical Age. 2,500 points in Heroic Age. 5,000 points in Mythic Age. Frenzy. Mythical units dealing damage to enemy units will generate 10 Agni points based on the maximum damage per unit. Unlock progression. 750 points in Classical Age. 1,500 points in Heroic Age. 3,000 points in Mythic Age. Chakra Lord Vishnu's support mechanic. Chakra is a support mechanic for Lord Vishnu's Pancha Bhuta system, featuring a tiered progression that amplifies elemental power and extends its duration from the initial tier up to the maximum of 7 tiers. Chakra points accumulate based on the total active duration of Pancha Bhuta over multiple uses to unlock new tiers. Furthermore, eliminating enemies or deploying god powers while Pancha Bhuta is active will award bonus chakra points. 7 stackable tiers. Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, Sahasrara. Pancha Bhuta 2 ways to gain elemental power. 1. Build Mandir aligned to cardinal directions on the map. Direction rules. Prithvi East, Apis West, Vayu North, Agni South. Requirement. All 4 Mandirs must align correctly. Even one misplaced pillar cancels the bonus. Bonus effect. Grants greater than or equal to 5% elemental bonus to one of 4 elements, random. Cycles every 4 minute, Prithvi Agni. Stackable, no cap per match. 2. Choose major and minor gods. Select gods assigned to each element. Element assignment. Each minor god carries a unique element. Major god, chosen at game start, also counts. Bonus effect. Each god grants up to 10% elemental bonus. Applied per deity, stack multiple gods for greater combined bonus. Special, Vishnu. Vishnu grants the highest bonus via the chakra mechanic, 7 stackable tiers that provide additional elemental power per tier. The following is a list of Indian wonders based on our own hypotheses. Official details may vary upon the game's actual release. The list is as follows. Shiva Wonder, Vatikanathan Temple. Vishnu Wonder, Chaturbhuj Temple. Brahma Wonder, Sasbahu Temple. And that's the Indian mythology concept if it were added to the game. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next mythology I'll be covering. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, it really motivates me to keep going. I'm signing off for now, see you next time.